Billiards TV. In a few minutes here, we will be kicking off the next match between Eric Minkowski and Mike Regan. You are watching the 2017 BCAPL Wisconsin State Championship. Rick Jones. Yeah. Let's see what we got going on here. There we go. How far is that guy? Alright. Well, they're getting ready to get started here. One day I'll figure out how all this stuff works. And they are getting started. Looks like he made 3 balls on the break. How's the sound, everybody? Let me know. Because right now I'm in the booth by myself. Apparently, somebody hopefully is on a football. This is Mike at the table. Feel free to hop in that chat room and let us know how things are going. not hard enough. Sound still too low there, Steve. Now we have Eric at the table. Eric's got solids. And hopefully, well, that sounds much louder. A second ago, that's weird. I think I found our problem with our sound. We've got a little part here that needs to be replaced. Sounding okay in there now, Steve? There we go, yeah. I think we got a little plug that's worn out. So both these players are going to 5. Eric has got a 530 Fargo, and Mike Regan's got a 522. So these two players are pretty equal. Eric should have just a slight edge. And that's really just going to matter on how they're shooting today and during this match. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you get some spare time, jump into badboys.tv. Hit the subscribe button there. And if you ring the little bell when we go live at other events that we do to our own channel, you'll get notified. So between these two channels, Q Sports International's YouTube channel and Bad Boys TV YouTube channel, you will get a ton of pool this year. Our next tournament that we'll be streaming will be the BCAPL National Championships. It is our goal to make it a battle of who is doing the best between us and Q Sports International. And we'd like to start a little battle with those guys. I'm not sure who they're going to have commentating this year. But it is definitely our goal to be more entertaining than whoever they bring in to do it. Just makes it fun and exciting for us. Well, and Eric shot a good rack there. Hopefully I got the right guy. They said he was wearing the camo hat, so if I got the wrong guy, it's their fault. And Eric will be racking. So if you want to make sure you catch matches, you can go to badboysbp.com, click on the live brackets, click on Wisconsin, and you can see what matches are coming up when. We will do our best to keep the ones that are scheduled on Table 1 playing on Table 1. I'm not sure if Bonnie or Delaney have had a chance yet to make sure the hot seat match is on Table 1 for each division, but I do know she moved one of the matches to 7 p.m., which is a hot seat match, but I just can't remember which division. It's either the gold or the platinum. The ladies don't start till tomorrow morning. The ladies start tomorrow, and the semifinals and finals, I believe, for both of these divisions are tomorrow. It looks like he's going to shoot the 3 ball. Well, that's 6 balls in an odds position. Well, it's not anymore. Choices, choices, choices. If you can shoot the 4 now, that's what I would shoot. But I don't think it goes from there. Pretty sure the table's still open. It would be nice if you could make the 4 and drop in the window to make the 7. Then the 6. Then the 3. And you'll have to move that 8 either out of there or clear that 12, 13 out of the way so the 8 goes in that pocket. And this will be a key shot right here. I think he needed to hit that with draw and bump the 6 up table. Leave the 1 or the 7 there so he could shoot the 7 in that corner, but he caught the 7 instead. And not only is it now a very tough shot, but he's going to need a bridge. Welcome everybody to Bad Boys TV. Please click that like button. When you hit that like button, it makes our sponsors happy, and then we can continue to bring the stream to you for free. I can assure you agree that free is good, even if you don't like our commentating. It's free. You can always turn the sound off. And I think he's just going to play it safe here. Well, I think he's going to dig out his own bridge. Check out our commercial. Yep, it's Bad Boys. All right, we're back to the action. He's got his bat wing out there. I think he's just going to hit the 6 and try to put the cue ball up under the 7. Hit that. He hit that pretty nice, actually. I can't tell. I think he can hit the edge of that 15. And he didn't call anything, so. Well, I think if I'm Mike, I'm shooting that 1 ball in the upper right-hand corner. Right there. Cue ball will probably hit the 14 and then come out over about right here. If he can do that, then he can shoot the 5. But he wants to work his way down here. I don't think you want to move that 6 because you need it to break out the 7. If he can see the 2, he might shoot the 2, but I don't like the direction that's taking the cue ball. To me, from this point of view, it looks like if he cuts the 2 here, then the cue ball is going to come up here and hit the 1 on this edge, sending it that way. But I do believe he just called the 1. Well, no. Uh-oh. He's going to move that 6 out of there. And no rail. Yeah. Well, I think he just made it a little tougher on himself. Decisions. Well, it looks like he's just going to roll this. So the 13's blocking that 6. Keep the cue ball under the 7. Yeah. Kind of taking the breakout shots a little farther and farther away from the trouble. Yeah, because he's just going to bump the 7 out, freeze it up on the 12. Yeah, what? Oh, that's better. I think if I think that 12 would have went up in the corner if he didn't get that 7 to roll back on it. Well, this is one of them tricky shots. If you can thin it just so you just barely move the ball. Just like that, but that's not bad at all. I do think the 7 goes in the side. And he's probably not going to move out of my way so we can see that. Yep, it goes. Come on, move out of the way. Move out of the way. There you go. Yep, pretty sure that goes. All right. Well, we got the G-Man in the booth now.
Hey guys, how you doing today?
Well, they're probably living somewhere where the weather's sucky, or they wouldn't be watching streaming right now.
Well, pretty much. I wouldn't be able to tell you what the weather's like.
Of course, if they watch it delayed, then
pretty much an indoor dweller for the last couple of days here.
That is the bummer part of being at a great location like this. Is
I remember there was a pool tour, and I won't mention it by name, but a pro tour that was held in Florida, and got to go to that. I'm from Minnesota, so it was nice. Yeah, we're going to Florida. Da, da. And basically the only outside was from the taxi to the building.
right.
And then back to the taxi to the hotel. So
It is brutal.
that was almost an entire week.
Well, these two players are really close matched. Eric is a 530 and Mike Regan is a 522. This is Mike at the table. So it should be a pretty good battle. It doesn't look like he got out far enough for the 6. Colorado's getting thunderstorms. Of course, Vegas is too hot to breathe.
Vegas is always hot. I think that's pretty well true.
Vegas is a nice place to visit for a short period of time. For me, I like water. I like to go camping, fishing, swimming. Oh, he is in a jam.
Oh, Kenny brought me a burger.
Bullshit. That's right. I'm cussing. Hey, how about a drink? I gotta have something to drink it down with. You're not in the booth. Quit crying. At the deli, they got drinks.
Looks like he's getting ready to try to jump this one. It's
Going airborne.
Yeah, I've seen easier jumps. That cue ball, the obstructing ball, is probably a good 2 feet away. So
it's at least a diamond and a half.
Yeah, that's a good.
Out come the wings.
Well, he's got a burger, so.
Well, the trick is, can you keep it on the table? Because usually what happens here is they'll jump, they'll be close, but they'll catch the ball and the rail is sitting right there.
Right. Yeah, if it catches any part of that reel, he's got trouble.
I've seen some really nice jumps. They didn't necessarily make the shot, but they made really nice jumps for the hits.
I saw the last match where, and I don't know the gentleman's name, but he tried that mass save for the 8-ball. Was that
Unfortunately,
something?
it was right where he was blocking both cameras.
Oh, geez.
But we caught a little bit of it.
He got a good hit on it. It was pretty
impressive.
interesting. Went out about maybe, I'd say, a foot before it came back. I don't know that it had the speed to pocket the 8-ball, but it definitely got a rail. It thinned off the 8-ball.
Well, he was asking a lot to jump that far. It didn't quite get the distance.
Pastor Brian, probably not a list of the upcoming matches because we don't really know who's going to be playing them yet. But
yeah, you can go to badboysbp.com and click on live brackets, and it will take you to CTS, which you can open up the Wisconsin tournament, and you can get an idea of who's playing who, and with a little effort, just look for table 1. That's the ones that should come up on the TV table.
A little close to his work on this one. He wanted to get sheep on that 11-ball, but rolled up pretty close to it.
Well, I don't know how many diamond tables are in Wisconsin.
That's a good question. I couldn't tell you.
I can't, we don't come up here that often, so I couldn't tell you either. But I know if you're used to playing on a valley and then you go play on a diamond, ball speed is the toughest thing to fight.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, with these really lively rails and the fast tables, you have to play pretty, and the pro cut pockets.
Yeah.
You have to play well.
Yeah.
The diamond table. I mean, what a welcome addition to the pool world that it was. It just really changed the game.
Oh yeah. I mean, I grew up on 9-footers. Oh.
There was a bar in the Twin Cities that was like the spot. All the top players played there. The leagues, it was packed, and it had the older style tables, the valley tables, and I mean they were nice for the time. Don't get me wrong, but there came a time when all of a sudden like diamonds started coming around, and they started including them in some different places. It really changed the game because the place didn't jump on the opportunity, and all those players went someplace else.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know about you, but when I play on a valley, and it's been a long time since I have, but I almost always hit the cue ball dead center. I was always trying to either slide the cue ball over or try to get position so it was all stop shots because I didn't want the cue ball to roll.
Yeah, you really can't soft roll a ball, with any degree of certainty on,
right.
On certain tails.
Well, so here.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a decision. Should he try to bank it now? Should he try to come back and play shape on it?
I would go for the shape.
I would too.
I'm an aggressive player. I would try to shoot that and bring the cue ball right back this way.
The question is, does he try to play shape off of the 13 ball off of the 14, or does he?
I think I would go off the 11.
Try it. Well, the problem is if you don't get shape off of the 11, you're down table from the 14. So.
Right, but then you play. I think then you're forced to play a safe, which.
No, he's going a totally different route here.
He's
going
playing
for
a safe.
safety.
Now, if you're playing a safe, you got to play for ball in hand, and to me, this is an easy hit.
It's an easy hit, and it's not inconceivable that he could make this ball. I mean, and if he does, but I mean, I guess on the other hand, it's sort of a risk-reward shot because he goes for it, makes it. He's out probably. However, the chances are that maybe he might not make it too, and just opens up the pocket. So there's He has to go for it. There's not really much doubt about that. It's just more a matter of what the result is going to be.
Well, and this is one of those ones where you really have to go for it. I mean, you can't try to
He's
slow
looking at
roll
kind
and
of the
play
edge of that
safe,
ball,
but
like maybe he can hit the edge of the ball. He's looking at both things. I think he's going to probably go off the rail here. Speed is pretty important here because if he thins, even if he makes his ball and the cue ball kind of gets away from him, that eight's going to be pretty hard.
yeah, you got to hope you hit that solid off the rail hit. Whoa,
He hit it.
man, he put some
Go
on that.
Yeah, he did. That ball was rotating with a lot of running English, wasn't it?
He shot that a lot harder than I would have.
Well, and that was what I was talking about. I did not anticipate the running English on that shot, but now he's sort of in a position for the 8 ball where, what's not such a terrible shot here is playing it off of that 14 ball into the corner. If you play it down there, I mean, he'll probably try to make it directly, but let's say this, there is a chance that he could still go off that ball anyway. It's a pretty thin cut. I can't tell really how much you can see it on the computer, but he's got a really...
Yeah, this is one of those
really
ones, though, it's nice to practice these kind of cut shots so you learn the pocket speed.
There's a scratch shot here, too, if he's not careful.
If you miss, you want to block that pocket.
Ooh!
Oh, man. Yeah, he hit it way too heavy.
Yeah, that was that scratch was looming pretty large from what I could see. So, and you kind of have to hit that one hard. So, unfortunately, he was sort of forced into that in part. So, makes a nice shot on the kick. Cue ball got away a little bit and wasn't quite able to put away the 8 ball. Billiards Pro 1 says a lot of diamonds here in Wisconsin.
That's good. That's good. I hate when players come to a tournament and they have to play on equipment they've never played on before. I remember when we first started doing tournaments, people would they were angry, because they're used to playing on a valley. Some places we went, they never even seen diamonds before. And, they're trying to punch balls in, and, you feel a little bad about it because they've never played on them. It takes a little adjusting to get used to. If you play on but the thing I love about a diamond is I grew up playing on a 9-footer. So going to a 7-foot diamond, there's really no difference, playing wise.
Well, consistency, there used to be the old, I don't even know what you call it, a billiards tale where, a guy would learn the roll of a table and learn how the rails played. And
Yeah.
I mean, that is sort of moot these days with the diamonds because, sure, I mean, you get the odd, maybe a table that might not play exactly the same as the others, but consistently from table to table, they are very similar. The speed is one big difference, and also the reels can be a little bit more lively, I think.
Does that rack look crooked to you? Or is it just me?
Yeah,
I could tip the
looks
TV
a little bit. Yeah, it looks a little bit tilted. A little bit.
Yeah, I remember I got to hang out with Johnny Ervolino, who was a great old-time pool player. I think he won the world title once or twice in his life, but he was telling me how he'd go into a pool hall and he would practice banks, and then he'd go over on the wall and mark a spot on the wall so that he'd know where to aim for.
Yep.
I was like, you cheating dog.
Well, that's the mirror. That's the mirror effect.
I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. I'd have never thought about that.
There's some billiards instructors that sort of teach that, like you find a point in the distance and then you aim for it. Yeah.
Yeah, he said one time he got a big match with somebody, and he knew that this person had done the same thing in his pool hall. And this guy had been hounding him all along. Come on, come on, come on, come on. So he finally agreed to play him, and I guess it was for some pretty big money. Of course, we're talking the 60s, 70s. And he said he got a couple friends, and they went in the night before, and they moved the pool table about 2 inches. He said just tortured the guy because.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So he had the angles down and the banks. He had the
He
spots
messed the
lined
guy's
up and
marks up
everything like
on
that.
him and everything.
Oh, that's funny.
I was like, you're a dirty old dog, you know.
It's amazing. Like, this game has been played for so long, and how many different systems there are for stuff like that, like
Oh, yeah.
banks and
Yeah.
gosh, some of those guys even use like mathematics and stuff like that. That doesn't really work well for me, but it's
Well, for a long time, Mark Griffin had a pool hall in Alaska, and the tables were spaced basically for the mirror system. So if you had to bank cross corner or cross side, all you had to do is aim at the side of the table across from you. It would go dead nuts every time. I was amazed at how many players didn't know that.
oh, sure.
It wasn't until years later, I'm like, yeah, that's why I bank so good. And they're like, oh my God, I didn't know that worked. I'm like, wow, really?
Oh, that's funny. Well, bank systems and kick systems, and boy, I don't even want to get into how many aiming systems there are,
Oh, yeah.
or the merits of those.
Yep.
That's like the thing of nightmares for some billiards forums.
Well, and to argue over which system's better.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I really like Tom Rossman, the parallel system, where you do I don't even know how to describe it, but basically to do 2 rails and all that stuff where you aim this way and you just move the stick over parallel halfway, and that system works really good. And it's something you can do quick and easy and not give away that that's what you're doing sometimes.
I wonder how many players, of course, one of the primary systems that people have always used is just the feel, like, they just visualize it. And I think that that's sort of, always been how a lot of people initially learned. Maybe not so much nowadays, but that was how a lot of people started. Do you think there's a lot of pros that make a transition? That pros that have started off sort of using that initial feel system and converted to an aiming system?
I would think probably more the other way, where they used an aiming system and then they've just hit so many balls they no longer have to use it, so it becomes a feel system. I'm actually surprised at how many pros don't know what they're doing.
Oh, they can't, as in like they can't explain how they're accomplishing what they're
It's funny,
accomplishing.
Bill Stock is that way. When I was first learning to play, I was like, hey, Bill, how do you do this? And he's like, I don't know. He had no clue. He just had played enough pool and learned this and learned that and just did it. And then as we started doing more and more tournaments, you sit and you talk to the pool players in the bar or something at night, and you find out a lot of them don't know how they're doing it. They just do it. It's just something that they learned and they were doing, and they can't really translate how they're doing it.
Well, I think he's gonna. That was a really nice shot, by the way, to kind of get up there. He rolled a little far, so he's kind of forced to try to bank this thing and get back across for the 8-ball. So this is. Gets it by the 3. Wow, what a nice shot that was.
Wow, that was 2 in a row.
That was a really good shot.
Mike's going to put the stop the bleeding here.
2 very well played shots.
He looks like he's concentrating a lot harder now, too.
Being down 2-0 will do that to you.
Yeah. Well, and he didn't play the other games bad. He just a little off here, a little off there, and got in trouble a little bit, and his opponent took advantage of it.
though, that can absolutely happen though, where you're going along and all of a sudden, um, just like you're shooting well can put the other guy into dead stroke.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all had that happen. I remember one time as a newer player in college, and I broke and ran 3 racks in a match to start against this guy that's like a local legend, right? I mean, this guy is a world beater. I break and run 3 racks on him, and then I broke dry, and I sat for 7 games while he played. So that was quite a learning experience for me.
He took you very seriously then.
Well, he said you scared me into dead stroke, so I took that as a compliment. Didn't
Well,
feel
and
like
the
a
reverse
compliment
can
at
happen.
the time, but yeah.
The reverse can happen too. You could be playing good one match, go to the next table, and you got somebody that can't make a ball, and then all of a sudden it's they don't make a ball, they can't hit a pocket, they get lucky and hook you a few times, and all of a sudden now you're struggling to make a ball.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, don't you think that sort of is the key to these tournaments? Granted, some of these guys, they just play good. They play well all the time.
Sure.
But, um, I think that in every tournament, aren't those matches where you probably should have lost, but somehow you find a way to struggle through or something, you just breathe a sigh of relief. I mean, I think everybody that goes deep into a tournament has those matches where, it's like, that one could have went either way. I think that happens a lot.
Yeah, like a tournament like Nationals, the BCA Nationals. You got to have some rolls. You got to struggle through those tough matches. You got to have a little luck. It's race to 5.
Yeah. And, isn't it also true, though, that, the timing when you play a guy,
Yeah.
that makes a huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
I've played guys where, they didn't miss a shot.
Yep. 2 years in a row, I got put out of the tournament because I lost a coin flip.
Yeah.
2 years in a row.
Guys
On the
don't
loser
make a
side,
shot. And
they break and run, I break and run, but because they won the coin flip, they ended up winning the game. And it's like, wow, that's brutal.
it is. And, and then you watch the guy play another guy. You're like, oh, man, this guy's going to win the tournament, right? And then you go and you watch him play another match, and the guy can't make 3 balls in a row. And you're like, how did this guy beat me?
Yeah, unfortunately. It's like you get that feeling too sometimes where it's like, oh my God, everybody plays great against me. But then you watch them play somebody else and you go, good God, you can't beat that guy, but I can crush that guy.
Yeah, it happens.
It's an evil sport.
It is, and I think there are guys that, like, you don't shoot well against and guys you own. I mean, I do think that I've had people say that, and, it's like you dodge a certain guy at leagues or something like that because they just sort of seem to have your number, even if sometimes you maybe shoot better.
Well, it's funny, you could be a better player, and that one person's got your number.
Ooh, come up a little short on that one. He nicked that 13 ball, and that did not work out to his favor.
But all you need is that one night where you beat them, and then it's like they can never beat you again.
Yeah,
That's what I love about this game is every time you go to the table, it's different. Every time you play an opponent, it's different.
And the thing of it is, too, yes, and I agree with that, absolutely. And the beautiful thing of it is no matter how good you are, you can be the top player in the world, and you still have to pocket every ball and figure out every shape and, do little nudge outs, whatever you have to do in order to, you have to play the angles just right. It's beautiful to watch great players play and the finesse and the consistency. And, absolutely. But they have to still work every rack. I mean, they make it look easier than I do, but at the same time, it still is.
He's going to play a safe here, I think. Oh.
I was almost wondering about that carom. It was a little.
I was wondering. It looked like he was kind of trying to spin into the 11 and bump the 11 over, but he got the double kiss. I'll tell you what I love about pool. And, I hated it when everybody was like, oh, pool should be like poker. No. In poker, the dumbest guy in the room could win. If you get the cards, you can win. Now in pool, you might win one match because you got all the rolls, but you're not going to win the tournament unless you can play pool. You got to be able to play. Where poker, if you're getting the cards, you could do stupid stuff and still win.
Well, and I mean, yes, absolutely. And poker kind of a lot of times favors the aggressor. And I'm not saying pool doesn't, because it can, for sure.
Sure, but it could also turn in a heartbeat
It
on
sure
you.
can. If you're too aggressive and you know, are a little careless, you know, that can also result in a bad thing. So, of course, it's the same with poker. But I would like to think that on the pool table, usually the person that shot better that match has, you know, wins. That's certainly the intent. You know, as a referee myself and as a tournament official, I want the players to finish the game on the table, and I you know, I mean, luck is going to play an inherent role in the game, but still, you know, like players pocketing balls and making shape, that's what it's all about.
Well, and it's funny because you mentioned luck, but it's funny how luck can be a mental thing. You know, if you feel like you're getting all the bad rolls, then you tend to get the bad rolls. Where if you can shake it off and go, okay, I'm gonna get the rolls here in a minute, you tend to get better and better rolls. I mean, it really is. There's a lot of mental part to that, where it's like, oh my God, this guy he gets everything. You know, and if a race is long enough, if you can go with the mindset of, I'll just ride this out and I'll get my rolls, it'll be a fair shake on the rolls, then it tends to work that way. But if you sit the whole time going, man, he gets all the rolls, I get all the bad rolls, believe it or not, you'll get way more bad rolls than you thought you were going to get.
Well, all I can say is apparently you don't have the bad luck I do. I'll just leave it at that. So you wouldn't be saying that if you got the rolls I did.
Aww.
Mr. Anonymous.
Hey, you got to drive by the Pool Gods Church on your way to a tournament, man.
I guess so. That must be what it is.
You got to drive by, honk twice, and move along.
Well, so what do we do here with these balls that are tied up on the rail? Neither player is really playing what I would call aggressive in trying to get those out of there as of this moment. And the balls are sitting a little funny. There's not really a
the
great
two ball's
breakout
not
ball
a breakout ball. It doesn't look like.
Well, the 11 can be. The 4 ball can be. I mean, you know,
They're both tough ones to get there.
I would almost expect him to shoot this 4 ball. But at the same time, if you do that, then you also have the chance to cut the 11 and maybe come back across, or even you have the 13.
Well, how about shooting the 4 and just freezing up against that 9 ball?
That would be a good shot. And also then
you're
would
putting
increase,
the 4 over for the breakout.
Absolutely. Yep, that would.
Because if you freeze right about where that would hit, he doesn't have a shot. He has to kick for the 10.
Goldie with another bold prediction says the 5 balls in the death box. No way you can win now.
So the match I did this morning by myself, if you get a chance and you're really dying of boredom, there was this spot right here. The one guy was up 2-0, and every time he left one of his last 2 balls in that spot, he lost the game. Every single time. It was amazing. It was so bad that he lost 3 games in a row, and he had bumped a ball into that position, those 3 games. I think it was like 2 more games after that. He didn't have a ball over there. He had the 8, and I told everybody before, I said, he's down to the 8. He's going to win this game.
Well, he didn't really take his time on that one.
No, he didn't.
Sort of
and he missed the 8 ball.
that one.
And his opponent had an easy out, and I said, he's still going to win. And his opponent screwed up the out and gave him the shot. It's funny because we did our Texas tournament, and one of the players in Scotch doubles, I think it was the 3 ball. It was either the 3 or the 5. It kept screwing her every time. Either it was the ball blocking her from shape, or it was the ball that she bobbled, or it was just like 4 or 5 consecutive games in a row.
He's looking at this third. I don't think I would shoot that ball personally, to be honest with you. The reason why is because to me that looks like the most natural breakout ball for
Yeah, I
those
think
two
I'm
balls
shooting
over
that
on the rail.
9 ball.
Shooting the 9 ball, and then I might shoot the 10, but probably not, because if I leave the 13 ball, leave an angle, I can go over and break those out, and the 10 ball is sort of a safety valve. You know,
Right. Yeah, shoot that. I like shooting the 9 into the top corner.
I really can't
and then
imagine
take the cue ball
that I would shoot that 13 ball.
and
Any
come
ball
out here
that's
for
would not be a
shape for
watch.
the 13. Yeah, and really, I would probably try to spin it out to here so I could shoot the 10 and then take the ball right back at it. And if I miss, I got the 13 to come play at it again.
All right. Well, he's got a different plan. Let's see what he's
Hopefully
doing
he
here.
breaks that out with the 10 ball then. Because if he's not even trying.
Well, I think he did. He just overcut it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think he tried to load it up with English and he overcut it. But I'll tell you, Solid certainly does not seem like it has a good breakout ball for. I liked your shot with the 4 ball.
Yeah, I think that would have been a better move. Now, that's no longer an option, so what do you do? And he's going to take his only other breakout ball away. Right here.
Yeah, that 2, I wouldn't really call that 2 a breakout ball.
Well, it's the only one that had a chance.
Oh, that was a good shot, though. Well, I mean, he ties up his 2 ball, but he leaves him pretty bad.
Well, I think he can play the 9 off the 5. Well, actually, no, I think the 1's going to be in the way. If he cuts it, yeah, he's not going to get the spin, I don't think.
Watch out for a scratch shot in the other corner here.
Yeah, he's not. I think that 1 is keeping him from breaking out.
Yeah, well, I think it's very thin too. I mean, he's got to hit this ball pretty hard and pretty thin. He didn't hit it that hard, but he did hit it thin.
Cue
There's
ball
a
on the
scratch
wrong
shot.
side.
Oh.
Well, I got the 11 out for a breakout.
I just felt that scratch shot coming on. That was nicely played.
I can't tell. Can he go off the 13 and make the 10?
I think so, if that's what he wants to do. At some point, he's got to address that 12 ball. I mean, it's
You wait too long, and you're going to end up in all kinds of ugly.
I've heard.
Ugliness.
I can't remember one of the classic pool books where they talk about 8 ball, and every time you make a ball, as long as you have a trouble ball on the table, every time you make a ball, it's
Go, go, go.
kind of like basketball, where you have every
Yeah.
time a player makes a basket, he runs off the floor, and eventually you are down to only one player left, and it's not a fun thing.
Okay. I think he has the angle right there.
Oh, I don't know.
You're going to get up and look.
Yeah, I'm going to get up and take a look here.
I was just trying to play it off the diamonds. He's 1 diamond apart.
Looks pretty straight to me. I don't know if he can. I'll tell you what I think he might do. If he can, well, it looks like he is going forward with it. So maybe you're right.
I think you don't have to shoot it hard. Just got to. Oh, he had the perfect line. Just follow it. Oh. Well, he's going to have to
No,
get
he's
there
gonna.
now.
He's gonna shoot the 11 in the other corner, in the lower right corner, and I think try to break it out that way.
Right. Well, I like the idea. To me, it looked like that cue ball was going to go right between the 2.
The only reason, I'm
Right-
6'1"
between 'em.
and with long arms, and I still, that's a long stretch, and a thin cut with a long stretch. So I don't know.
Yeah. No, I like the.
Being right-handed, that's also not a. If he were left-handed, this would be a much easier shot.
I think if he'd have shot that with a little more go and a little more follow, he'd have split those 2 balls apart. And he'd have been in real good shape. But we're not there now. Here's where people try to get the breakout and they put too much on the ball and they'll 2-rail and miss it. But it doesn't look like he's going to do that at all.
Oh, he's definitely going to come off that bottom rail and come after that ball.
Yeah,
Overcut
2-railed
it just
and
a
missed
little
it.
bit and scratched. Oof. Well, to be honest with you, solids don't really. You gotta take a flyer on that ball anyway. So,
Well, I'll tell you what I do here.
well,
is
so the 13 ball doesn't pass the 2. So you could really
I
just
put the
put
cue
the
ball
7 ball
here.
right. Well, you could put the 7 ball right here and just nudge this. I'm pointing, but Rick is
Right, I
drawing
see
the
you.
wrong
I
place.
see you.
Put the 7 cue ball behind the 7 and just tap the 12 ball out.
I put the cue ball here, shoot the 4 right there, split those apart, and leave the cue ball right there. Of course, I have to be standing at the other end, but I just make sure you don't have a shot on that 12. It's your way of work too, except for what you allow him to bump that 12 up, tie the 2 up,
Yeah,
or
I
the
kind
11
of
up.
agree with
tie
you,
it.
Goldie. I kind of agree with you, Goldie, where they let that ball a long time. Neither player really tried to get it out of there.
And it's been happening all day. All day. The matches, especially this morning, it was like they waited for the cluster till the very end, and then it became the big safety battle.
I would,
When the opportunity to break it out was there.
for me, I would, without hesitation, I would just put the cue ball by that 7 ball, just push the 12 ball down the rail, just leave it right there behind the 7. The 11 does not pass the 2. I think then all your balls are open. You're not going to get ball in hand, but still, your balls are sitting wide open. He's going with a plan.
I don't like it when
I
a
don't
player
see
sets
here.
up a cue ball and then shrugs their shoulders like, well, here we go.
I think he's going to try to do something similar to what you're talking. I think he's going to try to put it behind the 8. Yeah, that's what he was trying to do.
Well, the only problem with that is you got to get ball in 8. Because really what Mike's going to probably do right here is just come down, bump that 11, and put the cue ball right up under the 2. And Eric's going to have a mess. He can put that cue ball right up under this edge right here.
Well, solids has been best all along, and now with that 1 ball there, I think it's a decided advantage at this point. Stripes is in a bad spot.
Waited too long.
Well, the question is now, what do we? Okay, so here we are, regardless of how we got here. so
Yeah,
what do
we're
we do
here.
now, right? So it's like now the decision has to come. All right, so what do we do? We're here. I don't want to be here, but what do we do? He has to sort of, in my opinion, he has to sort of leave it up at that end of the table. The 11.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I'm Stripes. I just shoot the 1 ball into the pocket.
Well, he could also roll off the 11 very lightly and try to squeeze it right up on that too.
Right, but what are you gaining? I mean, you might get ball in hand, but you still don't have a breakout. You don't have anything.
And then the chance if you don't do that, then you got perfect angle on the 1 ball to break out.
See, he's calling it up here in the corner. I'm shooting the 1 ball in. If I'm Stripes right now, because my opponent showed me a second ago, he had no idea how to get to that ball.
Yeah, he
And
is
I'm
going to
play
fake it, but
because I'm at a massive disadvantage
what
already.
What do you get by doing that?
Well, now he's going to have to bank the 12
Where does it
that's
go?
frozen to the rail. So
Where does it go? I mean, it doesn't. You can't.
he's looking
They're going to have the
cross-eyed.
referee, I think,
Oh, yeah.
come
Ref's
and
going
watch
to have
this
to get
one.
off his butt.
I don't know. Was it frozen like that? And that I don't know. That just looks like a really tough shot. I'm going to hesitate saying impossible, but it looks pretty tough.
Well, he's going to have to plow it, and he's probably going to have to plow it with some
Well,
inside English.
I guess they're
Going to have to be
so
worried
far
about hitting
have
the other
not
ball
called the
first.
referee yet. So
Well, I think they agreed on whether it was frozen or not. He's calling it cross-side. But look at where those balls are sitting.
yeah,
That's going to be
if
I
you
would have a
can't
ref.
see, if you can't tell on the camera, they are maybe an inch apart. Like maybe. Okay,
Right.
here comes a ref.
And I would call a ref
Yeah.
because it's possible to hit that 7 first because he's going to have to cut that thinner than you think.
I agree with you, Goldie. Thinking this through, he probably thought it through, but maybe that bank, he thought it would come out a little bit different on that bank shot than he did or something. Well, here we go. You can't really see it from the, you can see it from the camera.
Watch this shot. Wow. Well, he wasn't banking that to make it cross because he hit it too.
No, I think he was. He was just trying to shorten it up. That's why he hit it so hard.
Can't believe he didn't hit that 7.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I think he might have double kissed it.
Yeah, it
that's
double
possibly
kissed,
why
but-
it is that why it
But I
double
think he
kissed.
had to hit that a little thinner than he was with a lot of inside spin.
Well, not a big surprise here, but now stripes are wide open.
The whole game is wide open now. You got to make him pay for that mistake.
Bridging around this ball could be a little funny, but it's not a terribly.
Well, and
difficult
here's the mistake you see when that happens. Is the other guy goes, it's wide open, and they get a little too aggressive and they make a little mistake.
Yep. Oh, he's going end to end here. He's not really taking too many chances on giving it a wide berth of play here. Pretty much his choice of what pocket he wants to play it to.
Yeah, see, on that particular shot, I like to go like that just because it's easy to control.
Well, and you can put a full stroke into it. You don't have to
You
try
can let
to
it go. And that worked out for him.
It did. You know what? I would take that shot anytime.
Oh, well, yeah, to
be fair. So
be at the table on the 8 is always a good thing. Well, Eric takes a 3-1 lead. That one was a little sketchy. Waiting that late to mess with the balls that are tied up is always dangerous. And then
they're trying to figure out whose break it is.
Yeah.
But they got her now.
yeah,
They got it all figured out.
I think there for a while Mike had the advantage, but he let it slip away by not going for the breakout when he had a couple of chances at it. If you wait to break him out on your last shot, you are probably going to lose more than you win. Don't forget to hit that like button. That helps us bring the streams to you for free. Got 67 people watching, only 8 likes. That's kind of disappointing. Guess we'll have to pull out the stripper pole. This is a race to 5. What division? Is this the gold division? Yep, this is the gold division.
I love that word sketchy to describe things. It's like, I never really, my teenage daughter, who I learned all of the cool things from, she's the one that I first started hearing use that word a few years ago. And
Really?
yeah.
I've been using sketchy for a long time. Sketchy or stabby?
Well, you've always been ahead of the curve on the cool level, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, I got a 30-year-old son, so. Yeah, sketchy or stabby? Stabby is very good. It's a descriptive term. You don't want to drive into that neighborhood. It's a little stabby. Well, and of course they're on break, so hey, let's try the Bad Boys commercial.
you're seeing a lot of pictures here of nationals, BCA nationals. What a fun time that is in Vegas at the Rio.
Yeah, if you haven't been there, you haven't been to a pool tournament.
It's just amazing. You see the Amazon and the pavilion. There's a good shot of it where it's just these gigantic. And if you've never been there, it's almost unimaginably gigantic room. And you think, my goodness, this is the most pool tables I ever saw, until you realize just down the hall,
There's another room
there's
just
another
like
room
it.
just
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, no, I'll never forget the first time I went to Nationals. It was crazy. All right.
Back to the action.
Mike is ready to break. I'm not going to pick on you too much. But the streaming is pretty funny. As you notice, watching the streaming, you'll see referees walk by. And really the most distinguishing thing is how they walk. For most of them, the body build is very similar. But every ref has see, like Ricky has a little hitch in his step. Kind of just... Portugal is watching. See, I think streaming is just too damn cool. To think that somebody in Portugal is watching this match.
Oh, he got a little funny on that one. I'm watching another table right below us, and unfortunately you can't see that table from here, but
Yep. See, technology's I'm always on the backside of technology. The toys kids have now, I didn't have that. When I was playing pool really, really good, we didn't have streaming. That would have been so awesome to be able to go back and go, where did I make a mistake? And go back and analyze it. That would be so cool. To know people in Portugal are watching, that's just too cool.
pool really is an international game. It's maybe different games in various places vary.
Long Island, New York. How can you live in Long Island and be sober? Don't you feel obligated to drink Long Islands all day long? Alabama, Canada.
All over the place.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's so cool.
We are at the moment in Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. Kind of what I would call equidistant from the Twin Cities and Chicago.
Darwin says you can't be sober. No, that's a true story. If you live in Long Island, I'd be the iced tea king, Long Island iced tea king. Somebody earlier said, "Oh my God, how could you play in a tournament that quiet?" And I'm like, "No, the music's out there jamming. We're just we're in a room where you can't hear it."
JMH, Upper Michigan, not too far from here.
So I noticed it says Upper Michigan. Is there like a little Michigan battle of the upper is better than the lower, or?
Oh, I don't know. I've been to Detroit. I've been to Grand Rapids, two very different places.
It is, yeah.
I've never been to Upper Michigan, up in the, up near the Great Lake up there. Never been there.
We did a pool tournament many, many years ago in Kellogg, which was pretty cool. You get up in the morning and the whole town smelled like cereal.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good deal, Darwin.
$2 beers. Oh, yeah. Beer's too slow for me. When I'm ready to get my drink on, I don't want to mess around with beer. Spend too much time peeing.
What's that old saying? Beer is dear, but liquor is quicker.
That's right.
Is that what they say?
Well, we're looking at another tough table here. Goldie, what part of Canada are you in? If you're in the right part, I got a great joke for you. Just depends on where you're from. Sounds like it'd be a good joke for Long Island, too.
Here's the thing.
Ottawa, yes.
You were talking about, I'm sorry, you were talking about referees, and as a referee myself, I've been refereeing for, the better part of probably 20 years. And I just have to say, and being a referee, I was working the floor today, making shots, helping players out. If you've never refereed or considered joining the CSI referee program, let me tell you, it is a lot of fun and great family. And just being a part of pool and helping the players is amazing. And working on the integrity of the game, great joy for me.
Yeah, well, and it will help your game. Just going through the training will help your game. Understanding the physics and knowing the rules and why the rules are written and what the intent of the rules are can help your game out a lot too. All right, Ottawa. So here's the shortest joke ever. 2 Canadians from Ottawa walk out of a bar. It could happen. Well, we definitely got ourselves a safety battle struggle going on this table again. Virginia. Where's U.S. Open's in Virginia, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, there's some pool players in Virginia. Just depends on where you're at. I do believe Berman's Pool Hall is still kicking there. A lot of pool players going there. Obviously the U.S. Open, and I think it's in October. I haven't really checked the dates this year for it. I'm always on the other side of the country when that one happens.
Well, Goldie, it does happen. Goldie asked, as a referee, do you come across players often who are blatant cheaters? And, it can happen for sure. Over the years, it can. And there are players that try to manipulate rules to their advantage. But I have to be honest with you, I think the vast majority of players really legitimately do play honestly and with integrity. And I would say probably
At least at tournaments, yeah.
Absolutely.
Who's the best pool player in the world? It's an Asian guy. I can't say his name right, but he's the highest rated player right now. That's a tough question.
Efren, I'll tell you what, Efren is a great player.
Guy.
I love watching Efren play and just his character and everything else. Efren, but I'll tell you, that Shane Van Bonen guy, he can play pretty good pool.
Yeah, I would say if you weren't going to say Efren, you'd almost have to say Shane just because of the all around.
Yeah, all around. It's really, it's a difficult thing to say because, who is the best player all around? Who's the best game player on a small table, a big table, 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball?
Yeah, that's why I would have to
pool,
lean
snooker.
towards Shane. Because he's wicked strong on a bar table, wicked strong on a 9-footer. Bank pool, he did really good at Derby one year. One pocket, he's nobody to mess with. The few times he's played straight pool, he's done really well. Dennis Orcola's game is coming up. He's getting stronger and stronger at one pocket. I don't think I've ever seen Dennis play straight pool. I know he has. I have never seen him play. They do the straight pool at Derby, and I'm usually not paying attention.
Well, Strickland sure is, at one point in time, very dominant and a part of his, the best of his generation.
Well, here we go again with Mike. And he's got to figure out how to get to that 3-ball.
Well, Pastor Brian says there are so many young players up and coming, makes the game interesting. And, you're right about that. I think the consistency of the tables now helps in part. And also, a lot of players will tell you that, basically the game changed a lot when all these instructional videos and books and stuff started coming out, because players did not used to share their knowledge. And so,
Well, yeah, that and the streaming. I mean, now you can go back and just sit for a month and watch nothing but Shane Van Boening matches. So you can just visually learn way more now than you could ever do in the past. I mean, back in my day, what'd they have on TV? You know, I mean, you'd see Willie Mosconi playing Fats, but there wasn't nothing on TV that you could go back and watch over and over and over and learn from.
Chaz, it's interesting you mentioned that when you were a kid, the big pool events on TV were Minnesota Fats and Willie Mosconi. I was watching something on YouTube about that, and it was really, I mean, talk about, they were on TV like, back in those days there was no like cable TV, so they were playing on regular. Howard Cosell was doing the play-by-play.
Wide world of sports.
Yeah, I mean, man, you talk about an event. What happened to pool? I mean, why is it? I mean, obviously there are people that still love it, but it's not on. It's hard to do pool on TV, isn't it?
Well, I think more people.
Why isn't there more pool on TV?
Well, I think the TV structure has changed. It's way more money oriented now. It used to drive me insane when they first started showing stuff on ESPN. The pool they were showing. It's like the tournament was raced to 9 or 11, but then the finals was raced to 7 because they wanted to speed it up. And it's like, okay, but you guys are deleting games anyway. And
well, and you could certainly see where they would. If you watch 9-ball on TV or something like that, there's virtually no safety play. And Steve, too boring. I mean, I think. To be honest with you, I wish that weren't true. But I mean, I think for a casual person, I think it could be. It's.
Well, I think it was all presentation. I mean, why do we always remember Minnesota and Willie? Does anybody actually remember the game played? No, you remember Minnesota woofing and Willie beat him, but do you actually remember the game played? It was the entertainment value. And ESPN took away all the entertainment value. They thought, oh, well, we don't want people to miss balls. And it's like, if they just make this, to me, 9-ball is the most boring damn game there is anyway. But then they edited it for TV. You almost never saw anybody miss a shot. Well, that's not pool or realistic. I was at one of the matches that they actually put on TV. And I'm not going to say the player because I'm not going to diss him, but they miscued and jumped over the 9-ball to win the tournament. And I'm thinking, wow, that would be great for TV. Nope, they didn't even show that game. And it's like, they're giving a false sense of the game to start with, but they did nothing to make it entertaining either. It's not about recognizing the game. It's the generation that's going is you gotta be entertaining. You have to put some kind of entertainment value into it for it to be televised.
And let's look at it this way. There have been a lot of people that have attempted to try to make it interesting. The Hustlers and different TV shows. There's been a celebrity
Sure, but
pool.
those people, right? But those people are taking it to the extreme, and the pool players are going, it's bogus.
Yeah.
So they're not.
Well, and I mean, I guess that's the thing. Do you cater to the pool players, or do you cater to, the mass audience? And I guess that's really the big question.
I think you need to cater to the pool players to the point of being true to the game, but then follow it with an entertainment value to draw in people from outside. I think if you want pool to be successful on TV, I think you got to play 8-ball. That's what everybody plays, at least in the U.S. All the leagues play 8-ball. Why aren't you playing 8-ball?
Yeah, but isn't
there's
9-ball
no connection?
Like more flashy and it's
I
more
don't
run,
think
breaking
so.
runs?
I think you could make 8-ball
there's a lot more
way
safety
more
playing
flashy.
8-ball, isn't there? I mean, but don't get me wrong. I love 8-ball. Okay, as
No,
a player, I
but-
love playing 8-ball.
But I think you could make 8-ball more entertaining. I'll tell you what. Go back and look at the IPT, what they did on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I found that to be quite interesting. I thought it was pretty well done. I think it was way more entertaining than anything else that's out there. Just my opinion, and I love pool. I think computers and live streaming is going to make pool bigger and bigger and bigger. And for anybody in the United States that says, well, pool is weak and it's suffering and it's in the pits, you need to open your eyes. Maybe the pros aren't where they want it to be, but pool in general, there are way more tournaments being played today than there ever been. There's way more money going out yearly to pool tournaments than there's ever been in the United States.
Chaz, I don't know if you're joking about ESPN having shown that between the lawnmower races, but that's pretty funny and sad.
Well, and here's the problem with ESPN. They were charging $20,000. The pool tournament had to pay them $20,000, and the pool tournament got nothing in return but the airtime. And then ESPN goes and they do it, and then every time they showed it, they sold different commercials each time. So ESPN was making a killing. Pool was getting nothing in return other than a cut-up game that was butchered. I mean, as a pool player, you know the tournament was raced to 11. Let's say, and I'm only going to use these two people because they were in the finals a lot for 10 years. Karen Corr and Allison Fisher.
Yes.
And let's say Karen whooped Allison during the regular part of the tournament and won like 11-1 or 11-2. And I'm just using this for an argument. Then they meet in the finals, and Karen gets beat by Allison 7-6, and then she's the winner. As a pool player, that's disgusting. It's not right. So the true pool fans weren't interested in it on TV. So you have to be careful on how you present it, and really I'm not sure we'll ever see pool on TV. But with the internet, it's just much, much better. Handicap, tournaments, or wrecking the game? Nope. Couldn't be more wrong. Handicap is actually saving the game. And I could give you a whole spiel on that, but we need to pay a little bit of...
That's an argument for the ages, though. I mean, it really is. That's an argument for the ages where you'll have different opinions.
You can have tournaments that are not handicapped. You can have, which are the pros. Okay? All these other tournaments, you have to have... You don't have to handicap, but you have to rate players and put them in proper divisions, or they won't come. If they can't be competitive at all, they won't come. And then you got these people that will argue, well, they don't put enough time in the game. Well, you want numbers. As a tournament director, I can tell you, I have to have numbers to have a successful event. If you want pro pool to grow, you need to build a fan base, which is numbers. The only people that are going to get into pro pool are people that are playing. They're not going to watch. If they don't play pool, they're probably not going to watch pool. So you have to figure out how to build those numbers. So, yeah, you need handicap pool. You need rated players. I think Fargo is going to change the face of pool. Because then, at a small event, you almost have to have handicap or nobody comes. So you make that event competitive. At larger events where you got bigger pools of players, you can use their ratings to pool them into proper divisions.
Sure. Well, and I mean, I think you're right to some degree. It's a challenge to get players to come to a small tournament or something like that, because especially if they know that there's going to be good players, top players there.
Sure. You think at this tournament here, how many people would not come if they knew Tyler was playing? And there was no handicap.
I'm only refereeing. I almost didn't come. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I don't blame you. But Tyler is that much stronger than almost every player in this area. So all your weaker players are going to go, well, no, I'm not going to I don't want to just go get my ass handed to me. But there's not enough players to divide the divisions. So, because, I mean, look, we have 350 skilled level players all the way to 700. You'd have to have 4 or 5 divisions to spread those players out so that they could have a good time. This is a pool tournament. Nobody's coming here to make bank. This is like going to the movies. This is like going to Disney World. You're paying to come in, have fun, be entertained. Maybe you walk out with a little bit of money. Maybe you don't. If you came here to get rich, well, you're a fool.
Might be a bad perspective or misguided perspective at least. He's got a really nice run out going here.
Yeah, he does.
Just getting shape on that 8-ball. Hit a little hard.
Well, he put a little monster stroke on that one.
He put some mustard on that one, didn't he?
Well, if it doesn't go by.
I don't think it does. I'm standing up, kind of looking at it.
No. I think you take it off the 3 cross corner.
Yep, that's what he's calling.
Oh, no, don't cut it.
Well, I don't know if I think he's looking at playing it off the 3.
Oh, to me it looked like he looked straight at it there for a second.
He's finding the point on the 3
Go
ball
off the 3.
Yeah.
Me personally, I like to shoot it into the 3 so the cue ball goes, or the 8-ball goes this way. To me, that's an easier aim than back cutting off the face of that ball. Get in there.
Oh no. Oh, wow. Actually, left him pretty bad.
It's a shame he didn't shoot it just a little softer, though, and left the 8 over here, though, because that would be a lot more pressure on his opponent.
I feel some kind of safety coming out. Maybe playing off the 6 and kind of leaving it down.
You're just pitting it behind the 7-5.
Yeah, something like that.
I agree.
Maybe even the 2-ball, but you might not want to even float it out that far just in case, you have a chance to open it up.
Yeah, no, just kind of shoot the 6 almost straight into the rail from where you're at, but just put a little bit of left spin on it. Shoot the 6 to right there. The cue ball will naturally travel right to here. That's what I like. And I have to say I. A lot of people go, well, don't use I all the time. I'm like, well, it's an opinion, dude. I have to say I.
Well, I would agree with you, guys. You're often talking about, the streaming, and there's something almost all the time now somewhere where you can watch, and it's pretty cool.
Are they over there watching us? Well, I don't know, Goldie. How are we doing? I don't think we're showcasing the game in a traditional way, that's for sure. I try to be entertaining, but, here's what I figure with the streaming is, I hope the friends, and because it's an amateur tournament, I hope the friends.
There.
Wow! Did that one? Looks like that one just touched the rail. Hopefully the quality of the video is really good. I got a feeling that most people that are watching. Whoa! He took ball in hand. I think that one hit the rail. I wish I could zoom in on that, but I think that one is touching the rail right now.
No, he played an intentional foul.
Oh crap! I'll go back to bed. My bad. Gotta teach me.
Oh, that's all good. I was wondering what you were talking. I was like, what does it matter if the one ball hit the rail or not?
You got me on a big long rant, and my brain went somewhere else.
Oh, that's okay. It's all right.
At least I watched the shot and saw that the one hit the rail.
You just saw them post that comment about you with the sunglasses and it went to your head. And
that's Kenny. That's either Kenny or Bonnie logged in on the laptop at the desk.
Went to your head, and that was all she wrote for you.
Well, the sunglasses got me thinking, man, I'd love to go to Florida and be on the beach right now, but
I've heard it's 90 degrees. That's what.
I love Florida.
That's
trying to talk the wife into moving there in a couple of years.
Have you ever been down to Cape Canaveral?
Yeah.
For me, kind of a toy geek and the technology and that stuff. And, I actually got to go to Cape Canaveral and go to the Kennedy Space Center and all that.
Yeah.
Man,
I got the patches from all the flights.
It's like geek heaven down there.
Up to, what was the flight after?
Well, we can't really see what happened down there.
Yeah, he bobbled the 2. It was, I want to say 2 flights after the Columbia blew up.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the flight patches from all the spaceships that ever went up.
Yeah, I saw
See,
that.
I'm into that stuff.
Well, they
I
have a
love that
jacket. They sell a jacket down there. with
stuff.
all
Yeah, I
the-
got all the patches. I didn't buy the jacket. It was a little spendy one.
Yeah, it's a little. Oh, he had a
Oh.
chance at it. That was not what an easy shot by any
Dude, but he
stretch
kind
of
of
the
swung.
imagination.
From aiming point to swinging at it, he went pretty quick at that.
Yeah, he sort of poked at it. It wasn't really a. I think you would like to have another shot at that one.
Yeah, see, Chaz gets it. Back in the day, it was tough to find a tournament. Now they're everywhere. I will honestly tell you, this year alone, I've turned down 12 tournaments. I can't be there. Can't make it. And we're just too busy. I mean, we basically have a tournament every month. January, we did 3 in a row. Had a couple weeks off in February. March, we did 2. April, 2. 2 this month. We got 1 in June, and then we got Nationals in July. Then I got Arizona in August. I got a couple tournaments in September, October, 2 in November, and 1 in December this year. Yeah, that sucks.
The price of success.
Nah, it's stupidity.
I was talking a little bit yesterday with Kenny about that, as far as living life on the road, kind of going from tournament to tournament, and you know what it's like to stay at hotels, and how is hard, rarely ever eat in your own kitchen. It's
Yeah, that's kind of, we were kind of looking at that this year. It's like, but hopefully by next year we can buy a motorhome. Yeah, we'll spend more money on fuel, but I'm telling you, being able to cook your own meals and it just, yeah, for me, I think it would just make it a little easier, especially as busy and as much as we're on the road now.
right.
And then, of course we have, I don't know how the hell we ended up with cats, but now we have cats, and now we're cat people. And
I heard
always
a whole
dog
discussion.
people before that.
You might not be aware. I heard a whole discussion about the cat keeping and the cat sitting and everything like that down at the desk. So
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, that's, a motorhome would be a great answer to some of our issues, but, it's kind of, I've always liked working for myself.
well, it could be a lot. Going around setting up pool tournaments, running pool tournaments and stuff. Oh, almost got it.
Well, now you shoot the combo.
Yeah. And I mean, that's got to still be a pretty great life. I mean,
Yeah, well, I love it.
it's probably
I mean,
like anything I would imagine.
There are times where, the body's just exhausted, your brain's exhausted, but, the great thing is like, yeah, January, I don't vacation in January anyway, so this year we did 3 tournaments in a row. Then we were home for a week. Then we went cross country, did a tournament. I mean, it's nice to, basically when we're done with nationals, we almost have the entire month of August off. So even though we work really hard when we do work, you get a week off here, or 2 weeks off there. I mean, how many people can say, yeah, I got 3 weeks off here, 2 weeks off there. And we do that 5 or 6 times a year. Uh-oh. That's dropping.
Oh.
So that's nice, being able to take that time off in lumps. I used to hate, even when I was in the body business, it's like you work 5 days a week. I'd rather work 20 days in a row and then take 10 days off. All right, so that puts Eric on the hill.
All right.
Yeah, it's funny. Last year we brought Delina down from Canada, and we had her hang out with us for 6 months. And of course we started off on the West Coast, and we told her, hey, look, we're gonna do these 4 tournaments in a row. Then we'll go to Florida for a couple weeks. We'll do Disney World and stuff, and so she's all excited. And she, we're telling her, okay, when we get to Florida, that's a different kind of heat. Oh no, I love the heat. I love the heat. So in 3-4 weeks in Vegas, and it's 110, 120, And she's like, well, how hot is it in Florida? I said, well, it's about 90. Oh, well, that's cool. I said, no, it's a different kind of heat.
Yes, right, yeah,
You know.
exactly.
And, yeah, she hates air conditioning, and she's always bitching about air conditioning. And then we get down to Florida, and about 3 days in, you know, we see her standing. We're over at Disney World, and you see her standing over by the store next to the door that's open. I'm like, what are you doing up there? And she goes, oh, I got to cool off. I said, but it's only 91 degrees. But that humidity, if you're not used to it.
You know what? Here's my take on that whole thing. All right, so I'm from Minnesota. It gets humid. It gets pretty darn humid sometimes. I mean, we
Right.
do points in the summertime in the 60s and stuff like that. What is your thought on this? So I've heard people say that humidity, you know, in the heat, like it's way worse than just hot. So like say it's 115 in Vegas, but
you know,
90 in Florida and the dew point. I mean, to me,
I lived 3
I
years
don't really
in
notice
Vegas.
hot is hot to me. Okay, so
Well,
it's like,
yeah, you know, I lived 3 years in Vegas, and when it was 90 in Vegas, I felt good. It was okay. But it takes me about 3 days to get used to the humidity in Florida. I prefer the humidity. Yeah, you're sweating a little bit, you're sticky, but you know, in Vegas, I get headaches. I can't drink enough water. I'll take the humidity over dehydration any day. You know, and you get used to it. You know, I mean, to me, I get used to Florida way faster than I can get used to Vegas. I mean, and then in Vegas, when it gets to 120, it's just shoot me. It's too hot. That's the only place I've ever had a motorcycle and went, oh my God, it's too hot to ride. Because, you know, I mean, there's a helmet law. And I'm not an idiot. I wear a helmet even if there's not. But you can't cool off. You could be doing 90 and it feels like it's getting hotter and hotter because it's like you're you're racing fast into a hairdryer. Now, I would take the Florida humidity every day over Vegas dry, miserable heat. Well,
they're talking about the breaks here and the second ball break, and I would say in general, I've seen a lot more people doing head ball breaks here over the last day or so than I've seen do second ball breaks.
well, if you do the second ball break, speed is massively critical to making a ball and being able to run the table. And you got to be able to move the cue ball really well because you're not going to spread it out. Second ball break, it's definitely easier to get a ball on the break. But, you know, I've also seen couple matches this week where the player did the second ball break and they shouldn't be because they were playing somebody that could maneuver the cue ball way better. So it's kind of a coin toss for me. I mean, when I was playing, it just, you know, I mean, if I was hitting them good and breaking good, I'd break hard and hit the head ball, and if I was struggling, I'd dip down. Yeah, you know, sometimes I don't know, dude.
I mean, I'm sorry to put it so bluntly, but what ball? He just sort of seemed to want to come back out to the middle of the table.
Well, you know, that's the great thing about this level of pool is it's always a surprise.
Well, that's true.
You know, it's not like I hate commentating pro pool. Now, I like one pocket, but 9-ball, I'm not interested in commentating that because the pros is just like, he's going to shoot. Here, look. Everybody log on to just any pro 9-ball match, and I'm going to tell you how it's going to go. Well, he made the one on the break. He's going to shoot the 2 in here and either draw back or follow forward over for the 3 and then come off the rail for the 4. And if you record that and then just do that with any match, it's going to work. You won't even know I'm not there. But with amateur pool and 8-ball, yeah, you just never know what they're going to do. It's entertaining. See, I mean, there's options here, but I don't know. Yeah, 8-ball chess. I love it.
Well, I have a feeling that we're going to get into some safety play at this point because this run out, I mean, what looked like a possible run out, boy, it sure looks a lot tougher now.
Well, yeah, how's he going to get to that 14? I'm going to tell you how you can get there. Here, I'm going to show you guys real quick. You're going to play
boy.
man
All right.
pool. You shoot that ball into that corner with high left, so you spin and come right there.
Easy peasy.
That's how you do it. Well,
Easy
and
peasy.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying
Easy peasy.
that's the only way you can get there.
You're like John Madden with that thing.
It's a little sketchy, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. I have a friend that said, "Hey, man, get this iPad thing." Well, it's not iPad. He said some kind of pad, and you can draw on that. And I'm like, "How do you draw on that when it's up there?" He goes, "Oh, you get used to it." Yeah, okay.
I don't think anybody,
Wow.
Goldie, I don't think anybody has that shot in their locker except for Rick. I mean, excuse me.
How about that shot?
That was a pretty nice shot.
Don't we
wasn't it?
feel stupid?
I was kind of hoping he would try your shot just so we could see what happened.
Well, look, he had a better shot. And there you go. That's why we usually talk about crap that has nothing to do with the game, because we don't know what we're talking about. I agree. What the hell just happened? Well, the cool thing is you guys that are watching can click on the screen, wind it back, and see it again.
Well, I'll say one thing. It definitely was not.
He called the pocket.
Definitely. Well, it's hard for us to tell in the booth if he called it, but I definitely saw him gesture, toward the
Yeah,
pocket.
no,
So.
it's called pocket, so. Yeah. Yeah, humidity. I like humidity. In Vegas, you can take a shower and step out and then think you didn't turn the water on. So don't take a shower drunk because you'll swear to God you didn't take a shower.
Did he get?
Well,
Yeah,
same
nope,
guy
he rattled
shot
it,
both
rattled
shots.
It. Well, you kind of had to bridge around that 4-ball.
Yeah.
It
Now,
was-
just in case you guys aren't paying attention, see that? If you don't have the angle that we're showing you, if you're looking up there, you can see the other angle. So on that shot, you could see either way. Really? Yes, dear. What's up?
Well, Solid's sitting in a pretty good spot here. No ball's touching, just a matter of how he wants to play it.
Yes. I think we liked the room better this last year, I think.
With the microphones, pretty much that's what
Yeah.
I actually said. We're aware of that. Thank you very much for sticking out. I don't know, Goldie, what would you put the odds at, the percentage that he's going to get?
Right.
I think pretty good. These balls are all sitting on the same end of the table.
Yep, that's fine. Yep. Okay, sounds good.
Plays the 1-ball, then the 6-ball, then the 4-ball, 3-ball. I like seeing the 3-ball, 3-ball, but maybe not now. It looks like he doesn't quite have the angle for the. He fell a little flat on the 6-ball to the point where I think he might even have to shoot that 3-ball next.
All right, so did the crackling go away? Buzzing? I'm sure there's something in here that we got to learn to tweak with. Get off my phone and talk humidity.
So how about that dew point, Rick?
I'm telling you. Well, Alright, I'll go there. Y'all want me to go there? Humidity makes a woman look better.
But I think this is one place. I think we might have to draw the line.
Okay, where
here.
the heck is the static coming from? Everything was good this morning. Kevin, what did you do? How about that? Anything changed there? We didn't do anything. And Eric is going to take this match down right there. Nice match from Eric. He wins. This is, what was this? Oh, I'm over here. That was a winner side match, so they're both still in it. That was a W4, so go check out the brackets on badboysbp.com. And let's see if we can get rid of this crackling in a minute. I couldn't. It's got to just be a cable, because we didn't have it all morning. Or Kenny's right. That's a power issue. Anyhow, I'm going to step out and have a smoke. We'll be back. Thanks, everybody.